Hello, I'm back. Um, it's like RoboCop 3. Probably shouldn't have happened, but it has. It's there. Um, yeah, I'm at home with my family, which is good. At Christmas, they'd been sort of isolated long enough, and so I came back to them. And then, uh, fortunately, well, not fortunately, because it's all a bit shitty, isn't it? But they stopped the schools going back. So instead of running away again when the schools went back, I got to stay at home with the girls, which is pretty good. Which is why I haven't done any videos really because I've been too busy. There's no quiet time. I've only got quiet time now because I've promised to come and cook for everybody in the kitchen. So I'm not cooking. I'm just telling them that I am, and I'm hiding from them. Thought I'd do a little update. I'm trying to think of things that have happened. The government is still appalling, like genuinely murderously appalling, which is great because I know a lot of people. I respect democracy. I know a lot of people voted for a government that would literally murder people, almost on purpose, definitely for profit, basically, so that some people they knew could make money. It's pretty good, isn't it? I sometimes feel that they're extending this whole thing on purpose. Like I think they can't be as appallingly sort of inept or just useless. There's got to be some sort of plan, and then you think, well, maybe it's because they realise they can make a lot of money out of this, and no one will ask any questions because you know because it's all fucked up and no one's got any time to ask any questions. They're all too busy being murdered by the government. So I'm doing some science today. When I was younger, one of the washing powders, Ariel, used to make me itch. That was no good for me, right? So my mum, being a good person, we stopped having that in the family. Yeah, everyone had to suffer. We had to get a different brand that I didn't get itchy with. So then Karen came across some Ariel. For some reason, we've got it. I don't know if she bought it accidentally or whatnot, but that's why wives are not as good as mothers, really, because she's decided that she's done an experiment with this T-shirt, has been washed in Ariel, and now I have to wear it today. But I'm already itching. My eyes are itching, But I don't know if that's just because I'm a bit of a hypochondriac, or whether that's like a real thing that happens. So I can also only taste soap in my mouth as well, which is a bit weird as well. But I don't know if that's, again, that's just my silly mind doing silly things. What else has happened? Oh yeah. Food parcels is amazing, isn't it? You some people aren't like you, and they think a bit differently, and they might, again, I get back to politics and stuff. They might vote differently to you. They might have different ideals. Or they might think different ways. They might think of like trickle down economics or whatever. They think if you let people at the top get really rich, then that money will sort of filter down and everyone will be better off for it. Which is bullshit, isn't it? But people believe it and it's fine. Yeah. But yeah, and then you see the food packages that have been delivered to people. Like this is your 30 quid's worth of food, and I haven't been shopping for about a year, but I fucking know it's not 30 quid's worth of food. Even if you're in Sainsbury's, it still only costs about 10 quid. So anyway, yeah, that's just, some people just deserve to be run over, don't they? But we should, I don't know. People worry about socialism and communism and stuff, but look at those food packages. That's capitalism. That's we've decided something as simple as feeding kids. Not just every kid. This is kids who need to be they need some help. Just need a little bit of help. And let's put it this way, right? People saying, oh, it's got to be food packages because if you give them tokens or money, parents will spend it on fags. Don't care, right? Literally, there are so few parents that wouldn't feed their kids. Yeah, that the problem isn't poverty for those parents, yeah? You're not fixing poverty. You're not saying, oh, yeah, when parents get poor, what they do is they decide to buy fags and booze instead of feed their children. It's not true. It's simply not true. It does not happen at all. Parents want to feed their kids, and if they don't want to feed their kids, it's not because they're poor, it's because they're shits, and that's a different thing. That you have to treat that as an entirely different you have to treat that as an entirely different problem, yeah. And there's probably a more sensible, well thought out way of looking at that problem. But to just say, oh yeah, once I saw someone in the shop with a kid who looked a bit thin and they were buying fags. Can you believe it? Oh my god, yeah. It's just bullshit. Anyway, and if you are struggling and you get a handout's the wrong word. If you get some support in the form of money and you do happen to buy a pack of fags with some of that money, then fucking enjoy smoking them, yeah. Just don't smoke them around your kids, I guess, you can't police stuff like that just because there's a few shitty people who aren't going to do it properly. The vast majority of people are going to get that bit of help, and they're going to use it for if they use it to pay their phone bill, I bet their kids are sat at home doing schoolwork on that phone or using some, or they apply for something on the phone, or everything's on the internet these days, isn't it? So people need to fuck off about it, okay? And just delivering a loaf of bread and saying, well, it's better than buying fags, isn't it? No. At least deliver a pack of fags with that shitty fucking food package, yeah? Or some beers, so they can go, oh my god, this is how appalling fucking society we live in, that we've decided that is an okay thing to do to children and their families. Well, at least I can get pissed, and stop thinking about it. So yeah, so don't be like, oh yeah, what if they spend it on fags? Just fucking, if you think that, you're wrong, and stop thinking it, okay? Move on, okay? Anyone with kids will tell you they feed their kids before buying fags. And I'm an ex-smoker. I fucking love fags, Lockdown makes me want to smoke a lot. So yeah, but I would obviously feed my 2 children, first. Anyway, I digress. Some of the food I'm cooking is, it's looking good. It's smoke. It's not smoke, it's steam. It's similar. What else can I tell you about? I fell down the stairs Christmas Eve. I like to do a Christmas Eve special every 2 years. I like to do something, or 3 years, I don't know anyway. I like to do something silly on Christmas Eve that requires a hospital trip. I managed to avoid going to hospital until a couple of days afterwards, because obviously I didn't want to go on Christmas Eve again, because everyone would, people's confidence in me would be completely shot. It would be all gone. I need to wait. You have to wait. It's like car insurance. It's like if you have a prang in your car and then you get new insurance, the insurance companies, who are shits, by the way, but we'll go into that a different time, will say, oh yeah, we've got to put your premium up a bit more, yeah? And you're like, all right, fine, that seems fair. It isn't, but it doesn't matter. And then you've got to go, don't get me wrong, having insurance is like a good system. The way the companies behave towards you, and weaseling out of insuring you, and bad faith, small print is the problem. But anyway, it doesn't matter, right? Okay. So I have to wait a few years. You have to get a little bit of time, like 5 years or something, and say, no, I haven't had any falls down the stairs, or haven't done anything stupid, destroyed a toilet and flooded the house in the last 5 years. Therefore, you can do something like that and get a proper amount of sympathy, and people go, oh shit, instead of people just going, you are an absolute bellend. So I avoided going to A&E. I fell down the stairs. I thought I was all right, but then we realised there was a lot of blood coming out of my sock, and I was like, oh, look at that. So we took my sock off, and in my sock was the entirety of one of my toenails. So we wrapped it up a bit, and hoped it'd go away. Not go away. Hope that it would be fine. But because I'm a bit more vulnerable to infection and things than the average Joe, I went to I needed some antibiotics, and we realised the doctors were shut for a few more days because of bank holidays and bits and bobs. So then we would be. So I needed to. Basically, I phoned 111 to try and talk them into just sending me some antibiotics, which seemed like a legitimate thing that I could do until I started saying those words to the nice lady on 111 and realised that nobody was ever going to say, yeah, sure, we'll just send you the drugs you need without any further investigation. So so I had to go to A&E, apparently. That's how they do it. So I went, they had a look, they laughed at it a bit and said, you're a bit of an idiot, aren't you? You've got no tone. It ripped, it hadn't come out nicely, hadn't sort of, it wasn't like a CD drive ejecting and then, it wasn't like that. It was, there was trauma. So they bandaged up, gave me some antibiotics, and then I hobbled around for a few weeks, got out going on those nice cold walks that everyone wants to do around Christmas and stuff. I got to just sit around in my pants and play on the Xbox or just stare at the wall, which is one of my favourite things to do. It's on my CV. Sitting in my pants, staring at the wall. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now because I don't even know what I'm talking about or why I started talking. I'm going to go back to cooking lunch for everyone. Right, have a nice day. I might upload this onto the internet. I might just not. Might just keep it in my private collection of videos that they can find once I'm dead of me just talking to myself, and they'll just fucking delete them because it's nonsense. Right, goodbye everyone.